Hello and welcome. Today's date, December the 1st, 2020. And this is a chart, well, certainly not a money chart associated video, but definitely within the context of the world situation. And this is the weekly death or mortality count for that of Canada. And it's on website, this one here, statscan. .gc.ca. And what it has is, well, here data, both sexes, or sexes, I can look males and females. Not going to go to that one. I will change up with provinces and ages. You got 0 to 44, 44 to 64, 65 to 84, and 85, and anything up above it. And then Canada within every other province. What it has is the amount that passed away that particular week. So 65 is the upper end scale and 45 on the lowest. So in Canada, it's always in that range, basically 5,000 or so people. But depending on the time frame, we'll get into this in just a little bit. And these lines indicate the year. So you got 2014, 15, all the way to this year. So this is 2020, the scale line like this, and then this gives us a data scale of the previous 6 years before then. I got this chart idea from that of Rebel News, as that is a video that I'm just watching. Like, this is a lot of good points, and this is a good channel that I like to follow, more local for myself, showing a lot of stuff, and not only Canada but a lot of more stuff, even though they do other province stuff as well, but mainly Canada and the Toronto area is where they focus on. But this is Canada, and I think a lot of other countries might have very similar stats, although I'm not sure. So what can we get from this? Well, one thing that I found interesting is that in the first half of the year, the death rate declines, and then the second half, it goes up, and it pretty much ends at the start of the year. I mean, in this case, from 2018, it was week 2, where the high came in. In 2017, it was week 2. Last year, or well, this year here, we can see everything's been going down. However, we got this little spike in here. Okay. So the wave 1, as they like to call it, as we can see, this is like April or so, May, the whole time when first lockdown happened. Yeah, there was an increase. So what do we know about the numbers? Well, we know we were supposed to be trending down like this, and the trend kind of continued, and we're going to talk about this move here as well. But this, okay, so we got up to 65 or above it. Well, we should have been at like 51 or so. So it was like 1,400 extras. And that was an increase of about 30%, 25, 30% more than normal. But it seems that it's just always in line. Everything's in pattern. But what's going on here? Why is this dipping, breaking down, and breaking the trend? And are we good? And this is a little outdated. We're going back to like end of September. So I understand why, but once we get more further data, will October and November be trending up in a direction below these lines? And what's the reason for this? Is this because less people are out, that there's less people that are dying? Is the murder rate going down, the crash rate going down? And if so, this is what's interesting. I could use these different things. And, well, if you die from the age of 0 to 44, that's one of the ways that you're going to go down. You got hit by a car, you got car crash. I mean, at 44, you're just barely testing the waters as far as diseases and sicknesses and stuff at that age. And it really kind of didn't make a difference. But we also noticed back in April that the spike lines didn't have a major increase by any means. But at the same point, if one of the reasons why the trend's been going down because people are out less people are dying in those forms, then this should be having a breakdown here, and it's not happening. If we take a look at this at the other ages, 45 to 64, well, that's where the breakdown's occurring. As far as lower numbers and less people dying. And sometimes breakdowns are good and breakouts are bad. But everything has been normal up until this point. I don't know. I can't explain it. I can't. 65 to 84, you can see in here, the older the age, that they were affected within the COVID. And then at the most oldest of ages possible, again, same thing. And this is barely, but this is still not really breaking the trend of the last several years as everything's moving together. Of course, it would have to be at the little later of a bottom, because you can see the bottoms usually come around here. So if we take a look at this and see this from different provinces, say British Columbia, relatively a little bit of a spike here, or head and shoulders pattern, I suppose, and it had a little bit, but it's not having any of the downtrend. I've heard a lot of not so good things about, especially Alberta. You can see Alberta's having some higher numbers than normal. But we're talking about how much more, where we were supposed to be at, like around, at least at this stage, like 475 to 500, and it's at like breaking 550. So it's about 12% more at that time. This is the province I live, Ontario. And it's got a good decline as far. It's taken a long time. I've already seen it. There's the good decline. And it had the rise in here as well. But I can't explain, and it's a good thing, but I can't explain how we are. I don't know if the mainstream has been mentioning how we've had, I mean, this is mainstream data. This is from statscan.ca. A little bit of a rise here back in the lockdown time. But in this point, 1,050, when the general number is about 1900, that's a monstrous decline. That's about 100% from this low to this high. 80, 90%. Or on the downside, a 40% reduction. I don't know why. They don't have anything, I think, for causes and such, but I think of all the pandemics the world has ever had, this might be the least deadliest one we've ever had, literally. But anyway, that's... And again, if you want to take a look more of this, it's www.150.statcan.ca. But you know what? How I did it, just Google search weekly death counts reported by Canada, and it'll do it. In fact, what was my search? Weekly death counts reported by Canada, yeah. All right, so thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.